How's it going, my friends, and welcome back to Solid Scale Models. So this episode is the last in the half track series. I hope you have enjoyed it so far. So as this is the last episode, as always, I'll play a little slideshow at the end of the video showcasing the finished model. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some small accessories to the inside of the half track and try to tell a little bit of a story. So we're going to be adding all sorts of little bits of kit inside the half track, some empty shell cases, and a little bit of gore. So grab yourself a brew and a bicky and we'll get into it. Right, so we're going to start with making some bandages. It's really easy to do. Just use a little bit of masking tape. Now I just eyeballed the width of this. I kind of roughly guessed it from the width of the hand from one of the figures. And all we're going to do is just wrap it around a pair of tweezers. You can see I've sort of pinched the one side so I've got some grip on it, and then just start twisting it round and round and round. So I made a couple of different ones, a couple of different types of in use, if you like. So I did a couple where they haven't been opened yet, and a couple that are in use. So all you need to do with that is just leave a little bit of excess of the tape after you've rolled it, and there you go. You've got a bit of bandage. So with the jerry cans, I'm going to have a couple of these hanging off the side. So I drilled a few holes in them because these are going to go on the side of the damage that we did previously. And what I did with some AK fuel stains is just ran a few dribbles of fuel that are in the can. I made a few, I painted a few with different heights of fuel run out to sort of show that there was, different levels of fuel in the tank rather than being all the same. So there you go. You can see them all on the side there. Just used a little bit of wire wrapped around a couple of the brackets there to hold them into place. Didn't even glue them in. I just wrapped them around and they were fine. What I'm going to do now is sort of show that the fuel that was in the jerrys have streaked further down. I've also added a little bit more to it because I felt it was a little bit too weak, the paint, when I put it on first time. So I'll put some more on just to sort of thicken it out. Put a little bit more around the bottom of the cans as well, sort of kind of, in a sort of congregative sense of fuel that is just pulled up at the bottom there a little bit, and then just from where they are, just run it down the side of the half track. What I also did as well, it probably isn't going to make any difference either because you're probably not going to see it, but I also did it on the side of the vehicle as well, just in case at some point maybe moving it, they might move slightly. So I'll put a bit behind those cans, and again, just in case you can see it when they're in place. If I remember rightly, I don't think you can anyway, but it's one of those things that's quite good to do as a bit of a just in case. I did feather them out a little bit using a flat brush with just a little bit of white spirits on there, and just played with it until I was happy with the end result of it. So as you can see here, this is what I was on about before. I've just flipped the jerry cans over and just added some fuel just about halfway up. So here's where things start getting a little bit grim. So I'm using red ink for some blood that I want pulled in the bottom of the half track. Again, this is sort of tying in with trying to make it look like like a little proper scene, but within the half track without actually making a full diorama, so it tells a little story in itself. So I put a blob of this in the bottom, and then with a dry brush I sort of streaked it out to give it, as you know, the person that has been hit has been you know, obviously quite badly wounded and been dragged out of the half track and to safety. It did take me a couple of passes with this, and later on I had to use, I think I had to use a really watered down red paint for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's an old ink or it reacted to the paint that was already down. It gave a bit of a yellow tinge, which you can kind of already see there. I didn't notice it straight away. It wasn't until it had dried out later on. So I went over that again with a very diluted, relatively bright red paint, just to, you know, again simulate that that blood in the bottom of the half track. So next I start adding a few more extra little details in, a few bits that I got lying around from previous kits. I've got a few crates to go in. I picked the ones that fit on the bench rather than, you know, taking up too much space. But yeah, as you can see, I've got a couple of jerry cans in the side down there, a watering can, a couple of ammo pouches on top of the one crate there. The kit does come with an ammo box, but I had one spare, and Ed, I'll give you an ammo belt, so I decided to put that in ready to go for the next feed for the MG. Next was the extremely difficult task of putting all these small empty cases in. I've got about 3 packets of 25 empty MG34 rounds. They're very difficult to try and put into a place that looks like they've naturally fallen. I think I did quite well putting them in there, but I knew I was going to put a few of these bloody rags in there, so that would cover some of that up, and as you can see, the bandages there as well as I did at the start. So there we go, my friends, that's our little half track all done and dusted. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I've actually really enjoyed doing this. If you'd like to let me know how you think I've done in the comment section down below, that would be much appreciated. If you're new around here and you have liked what you have seen, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Of course, if you put bell notification on as well, that will also tell you when the next video is up and available. So this is, of course, the last episode, so I'm going to now leave you with the finished model. But I'd like to say, just before we go, is if you'd like to support me and the channel, there are links in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Do appreciate the continuing support from you guys. And so, might as well grab another brew and a bicky, and here's the finished model.